please like and subscribe.
Hello, collective. Welcome to Joe's Medicine Tarot. I am Joe. Here you will find a shamanic tarot general spirit check-in. This is not a one-to-one spirit check-in, so you might not resonate with the whole reading. You might not resonate with any of the reading. Whatever you do resonate with, please take what you need and leave the rest behind. With this comes a warning. My readings can be very difficult. They can be hard. I bring in high voltage knowledge. Sometimes when we're not ready for high voltage knowledge, it can come in like a tower. So I just want to say that if any part of my reading irritates you, pisses you off, makes you angry, offends you, makes you uncomfortable, click off. Even unsubscribe. Completely disconnect from this energy. And when you're ready, you will be guided back to this energy, irrelevant if it's to my channel or not. Okay? If you are new to my channel and you like my style of reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you like about the reading in the comment section. And welcome. If you are a returning viewer or a subscriber, a returning subscriber, thank you so much. Thank you, viewers, for your views. All the views really make a difference on the algorithm. And subscribers, all of your subscriptions and your views also make a difference. And it's a great service to the channel and the algorithm. So thank you guys so very, very much. And also, I would like to also acknowledge the medicine keepers. These are the paid members of this channel. Okay, here we go. Let's start this reading. Creator, please bless this reading. I feel Dark Moon Lilith is here. I feel a very feminine energy, a very competitive energy. Whether this is competition among women, but I'm feeling this is a cycle, some sort of a cycle of, something like a devouring woman. Maybe a devouring mother, devouring woman. And I know that this is also energy that is being exposed by Black Moon Lilith. This is kind of being exposed in all of us. Where we are in this aspect of the shadow side of a woman's archetype, the shadow archetypes of a woman's psyche, which is Black Moon Lilith. It's not just Black Moon Lilith. Black Moon Lilith is a symbol of the dark side of the moon, sometimes the darkest side of the moon. And the moon is feminine. So the darkest side of the moon is the part of the moon, the side of the moon that we don't ever see. Even on Earth, we never see that side of the moon. Okay. All right. Shadow work. holy. Okay, shadow work. There's definitely shadow here. There's definitely shadow here. Like I said, Black Moon Lilith, there's feminine energy. I'm doing this reading also at midnight, 5 to midnight. I felt I needed to do this reading tonight. It was a reading that it reached a culmination. I could just feel I need to do like a reading. I need to come on, and this is what's coming. Okay, so shadow work. So you're doing shadow work. I feel like you've been doing shadow work. I'm feeling that part of the energy with Black Moon Lilith is like friendships between women that have gone wrong. Like, and that you are, whether this is sisters, whether this is friends, whether this is even mothers, as I said. Initiative. Yeah, you've taken the initiative to do shadow work, to do some shadow work. Or your shadow work is the foundation of some sort of an initiative, some sort of a beginning. You're like beginning a new journey into a new dimension, into a new, very gentle, but very gentle. Shadow work that has put you on a new path. And it's kind of a shadow work that is allowing you to be very gentle, very compassionate, not only with yourself, but with others. I feel like whatever you've come through with this shadow work, you've had a great expansion within you. Look at this, initiative and initiate. So you've been initiated. You have been initiated. What this tells me is that this fits with the Black Moon Lilith, with the shadow work, with the initiative. Yes, holy smoke. Knowing. Yes, okay, holy smoke. Okay, so what I'm getting here is that whatever shadow work you've had to do, you had to do it to release yourself from a kind of a bondage. Like I said, this is like I'm seeing friends between two women, some sort of friendship that's gone wrong. Something that has been harmful. It's been harmful. I'm feeling there's time in this. Time. There's time. What I mean by time is when whatever happened, there's been a measure of time that has elapsed in this. Like 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. It's a long time to be sitting in this energy. But whoever you are, this is like an initiation. You are coming through an initiation. There was some sort of it's some sort of an archetype, like the archetype of the devouring woman. Some sort of a devouring woman archetype that I'm picking up on. So the devouring woman is an archetype that's like, the archetypal story often goes something like, a woman accepts the friendship of another woman and invites another woman into her life, and as these women get to know each other, the other woman, it becomes very clear that the other woman does not have the first woman's back, like, at all. It becomes very clear that the other woman is obsessive, controlling, manipulative, jealous, suspicious even. Somebody who basically wanted your life. That's what the devouring woman is. She will do whatever it takes to take what you have, because she doesn't know how to generate it within herself. So it's easier for her to take from you. So that's what I'm feeling, some sort of, and that's with Black Moon Lilith. This is with Black Moon Lilith. You've had a knowing about this. You've had a knowing. Initiation. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Shadow work, initiative, gentle, initiate, knowing, initiation. So the word initiate has been now announced 3 times. Holy smoke, like whatever's happened here, this is a cycle that is closed, and you have been initiated into a new realm. You have earned your place. I'm hearing rise up and take your place in the sacred realm. So I feel like you have definitely earned your place in the sacred realm, like rise up, which is what you have done in your shadow work. In your shadow work. Okay. Breath work. I feel like whatever has happened, what's on the bottom of the deck? Unresolved trauma. Unresolved trauma. So let's just put that here. The next word is the occult. Let's just take a healer. Yes, whatever you've come through, revenge. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into all of these, but absolutely. So unresolved trauma. Okay, Creator, can we please have the clarifiers, please? So you had a knowing that there was some sort of a... Okay, hold on a second here. I'm just going to be quiet. Holy smoke. Okay. Okay, so whatever's happened here, the shadow work you did was to remove someone, like I said, you had some sort of a dark moon Lilith friendship with a female that went sour, went that went wrong. It had gone wrong. And I feel like this created like a psychic obsession between the two of you. I feel like there was I feel like there was black magic. I feel like there was black magic here. Somebody did black magic in order to try to break through your protective barriers, to try to take your life, try to steal your life, try to interfere with your life. Like even I feel like, okay, yes, okay. Okay, no, there's more that wants to come out here. I need to be quiet here, just a minute here. Holy smoke. Okay, and the Nine of Pentacles, and one more, Creator, one more. One more. Yeah, beautiful. Okay. Holy smoke. Wow. Okay. Okay. This is exactly as it kind of how I was feeling this energy. So there was some sort of a friendship that you had. Somebody knew. They tried to mess with your power, and you had some sort of a worldly power that you had established in your life through your self-esteem, through your confidence, but it was on the physical plane, whether this was in your job, in your in your intelligence, in your looks, in your, not in necessarily your looks, but your job, your intelligence, just the way you hold your power, even the way you carry yourself, the way you communicate. You had sort of a power on here, and somebody was very, I feel like it was a female, like this is Black Moon Lilith, and this theme is like female friendships that have gone wrong. So I feel like a friend was very jealous of you and wanted what you had, whether this was your life, your job, your man, your car, whatever this was. And I feel like this person wanted to kick your feet out from under you, and they saw how home you were, you were like in a place that was like, you were confident, you had self-esteem, you were strong, you showed self-esteem, even then, you always took the like initiative to show self-esteem and self-care. You're very, very, very gentle. And whatever happened, I feel like this person, there was some sort of a betrayal, some sort of a disaster, like some sort of a there was a battle. Somebody was trying to like bring down someone else's power, and I don't want to be, this is in the past, okay? This is not what's going on now. You've overcome this, okay? Let's just say that right now. You have overcome this. But somebody wanted to fuck with your power, mess with your self-esteem, kick your legs out from under you. You had a knowing. This is like, oh, your gentleness. Like, would you keep your gentleness? I feel like there's something very demonic actually attached to this reading. It's very lower dimensional, like very, very lower dimensional. But whatever happened here, you were initiated into a new understanding of humanity through someone else's handiwork. You had a knowing of this. You knew it. You knew it. Even though you knew it, there was no satisfaction in knowing it. There was no satisfaction. You couldn't do anything about it. You couldn't change it. You couldn't do anything about it. It was already done. It was already done. Whatever this tower was, whatever this betrayal, disaster, destruction, almost like someone declared war on you, or was like making you the brunt of their insecurity, making you the brunt of their self-loathing. That's what I'm feeling. And you, even though you knew this was nothing you could do about this, I feel like this person like maybe created lies, exaggerated, manipulated the truth in order to create a harmful effect where you didn't have the support. You didn't have the support that you needed. Whatever this was excruciating. This was excruciating. And I feel like you sat in this energy for a while because you didn't you didn't know what to do with this. It's almost like you're trying to swallow like a jagged, I'm seeing one of those cactuses that are like got spikes all over them, those little round, they're like birds, they're often you found in horse hair and in dog fur, trying to swallow a burr. That's what this feels like. It's like a jagged awful thing that's going to get caught in your throat. It's hard to go down, but it is a truth no less. It is a truth no less. That you were being initiated into understanding the dimensions of humanity, the people around you. Realizing the reality of what happens when, like, I feel like this other person has like deep psychological trauma that like they had such deep psychological trauma that while they were probably trying to be your friend, they had such a deep sense of insecurity and fear and self-loathing that they had no choice but to go behind your back and sabotage, behind your back. This is the um, archetype of like the uninvited feminine. You know, I've heard other archetypes like this, like that are called like from the movie Single White Female. Starring Bridget Fonda and Jennifer Jason Leigh, where Bridget Fonda invites Jennifer Jason Leigh to move into her apartment, and they become friends and hang out. And here, Jennifer Jason Leigh then is like completely sabotaging her behind her back, and is actually, she is not really a friend. She poses as a friend, but is actually obsessive, manipulative, and kind of evil, and has a very dark intention of destroying and damaging someone's life because they have what she wants. It's like a form of black magic. They see what they want and they're like, I want that. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order to get it. Even if it means betraying the person that, even if it meant betraying you or whoever. Maybe if you watch friends go through this. But whatever happened, even though you knew this was an initiation into see whatever happened here. Okay, so let's take a look at that archetype of single white female, even like with the other person there, like with the antagonist, there is such a deep sense of terror, like a deep sense of failure, of inadequacy, of insecurity, that they're willing to lash out at the world, lash out at others in order to try to make themselves feel better, by taking from others because they can't cultivate their own. They feel so, their identity is rooted in scarcity and lack. And they don't feel that they have the capacity to generate what they see in someone else's life. And so that's what I'm feeling. You were initiated into seeing the reality of the darker side of humanity. And I feel like this your way through this was breath work. Your way through this was consciousness. Your way through this was even consciously walking around the room, grounding yourself, feeling the floor under every part of your feet and every part of every step, like just getting into your body and out of your mind as much as you could. Because I feel like whatever this was it was traumatic. It was very traumatic. And I feel like whoever this other person is, they were acting out from a place of unresolved trauma from themselves. So I feel like whoever this was didn't even see you. They didn't even see you. They never even saw you. Ever. They only saw you through their pain body. I feel like they were friends with you, and then until their friendship turned into a jealous obsession. And it was a force that they couldn't stop. They couldn't rein it in. They couldn't stop. And this is what I mean when the gods use somebody that can't rein themselves in. Somebody that has their mind has more power over them than they do. Like, that's what I mean. There's something demonic here. If you're not at the wheel of your ship, who is? Who is? What are the forces that are driving you? Do you know? And that's what this is. That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. And you proceeded then, once you saw the truth about who you were dealing with, you proceeded then to get the fuck out of there. And feeling like you were dealing with evil. You were dealing with evil. Oh my God, you were dealing with evil. Because evil will never see things they will never see your side of things. They will look down at you arrogantly and sneer in your face. They have no capacity for empathy. This is probably somebody that has undiagnosed, like, psychopathic tendencies. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. So you disconnecting then brings you back into shadow work. You wanting to get, because there was no fixing this. This was unresolvable. I feel like this is also, whatever this was, is tied to a shamanic initiation. And initiate is here 3 times. And I'm feeling that whatever this is was some sort of an initiation into a shamanic path, a shamanic anointing, some sort of a shamanic calling that you were being initiated onto, and it was fucking excruciating. Part of my language. I feel like this person stalks you a little bit. If you have like a platform online, maybe your Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or something, I don't know, but I feel like this person watches you a lot. And in some ways, I feel like there was like, when I say devouring woman, a devouring woman, it's like the movie Basic Instinct. You remember the movie Basic Instinct, where Sharon Stone is writing these books, and then all of a sudden, whoever she was seeing, like a lover, would end up dead. And they would end up dead in the way that is written in her books. And during the movie, I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, so if you haven't seen it, click off, because this is a spoiler alert. But you find out at the end of the movie that it's her like dark moon Lilith friendship that had gone wrong back in college. And she had been friends with this woman in college, and this woman became her best friend. And this woman, was friends with her until her friendship turned into obsession. And she made her hair like hers, and either cut her hair or grew her hair really long, or started, writing, handwriting even. They're even saying handwriting too. Um, Dress like her, talk like her, like all the mannerisms, like trying to absorb the other woman, take on the other woman's traits. This other woman was like obsessed with her. And I'm feeling an obsession here because of the Queen of Wands in reverse. I also feel like there's been some sort of I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. Some sort of a sex magic. Somebody trying to take through doing a sex magic, whatever that is. I feel like this person does not have control of their lower natures at all. I feel like if their mind has control of them, then so does the lower natures, period. Like I said, there's something very demonic about this reading. It is I don't know, there's some sort of a doorway open. That's why I had to do this reading tonight. There was some sort of a doorway open. I had to do this now. Okay, so you becoming aware of the reality of human beings, the reality of like psychopathic behavior, like, and it's interesting because this kind of energy has been in the last 2 or 3 readings that I've done. So there's obviously been energy building up to this. This is interesting. I didn't realize that until just now. So you proceeded to disconnect from this because when you're dealing with evil, there's no reasoning with evil. Evil does not want to know itself. It doesn't care. It just wants to win. It doesn't care. It doesn't want to know itself. It's not interested in knowing itself. And because of this, you realize you have to cut your losses and get the hell out of there. So that's what you started to do, is cut your losses and get the hell out of there. And this was the end of a cycle. It brought you some joy, but there was this wound. It's like the wound of Chiron. It's like I'm feeling the wound of Chiron is tied into this because this was unhealable. The only way you healed from this was because of the work you did. You don't need the other person's consent in order to heal a conflict with that person. Absolutely not. You can speak to the field, to the intelligent field around you and within you. Tell this person I don't have any hard feelings. Let this person know in some way that everything's okay. No, we're not going to be friends, but there's no hard feelings. And that information will get to them. If you believe, operators are standing by, man. All you need to do is simply ask. So that's what I feel here, is that you couldn't get through this wound, this feminine wound. The moon is like I said, the dark side of the moon, the dark side of Lilith. This moon, this feminine energy. Illusions, psychic enmeshment. Psychic enmeshment, for fuck's sakes. That's what this is, psychic enmeshment. And it happened because of this tower, because you were a very gentle person. When this came in, you were very, very gentle, very, very trusting. And whoever this was took advantage of your trust and caused a tower and some sort of a psychic enmeshment. It sort of took your will. Somebody sort of used magic in some way and took your will There was something that was like went after your sexual energy. I'm seeing like a dead snake, like dried up and shriveled up, like on the side of the road or on like a nature trail or however. But that's what I'm seeing. That was their aim, was to kill your sexual energy, was to, maybe you're somebody this person I always thought was prettier than them. There was some sort of competitive nature here. And I'm feeling whatever environment you guys were in, the environment also fed this. It was some sort of patriarchal, like maybe male dominated environment of some kind. Maybe this was a church, a family, a workplace, but anyway, it kind of took your will, took your creative energies, like sort of took the wind out of you. But like I said, this is an activation of shamanic energy, because you knew what to do with this. You knew what to do with this. And not only that, but I'm feeling like whoever did this also knew you have shamanic capacity, and they wanted to act like you. They wanted to look like you, be like you. But, you realizing the kind of person you were dealing with was a graduation in itself. You're no longer naive. What you don't know can hurt you. What did that thing with the Buddha say? Um, it is, how did he say? Since fear an insincere friend more than a wild beast, because a wild beast can hurt your body, but an insincere friend can hurt your mind, can hurt your soul. And I'm feeling that's you becoming aware of of who you were dealing with, and no longer being denied about it or in denial about it. I feel like for a little while this really did hurt you. But in the work that you did in your shadow work and getting unenmeshed, getting out of enmeshment with whoever this person was sort of like a psychic vampire. Yeah. That used covert competition, that masked covert competition as care and support. Like, I feel like this person was fucking fake as shit. Like, fake. And because you were so kind and loving and you really saw the best in this person, they sure the hell didn't. Because all they saw the capacity they could do was lie, cheat, and steal. Okay, but you be realizing the truth about this brings you into like more of a mature mind, a more mature, rounded way of seeing the world. Like you're standing on all 10 toes now. Like you're aware of the world. I'm seeing Mel Gibson in Braveheart when he says to the French queen, like, you're gonna be a queen, like you're a queen. You have to open your eyes. You have to see the world as it is and not as this romantic place. It's not. It's fucking cutthroat. And whoever's on the other end of this reading is demonstrated that to you very, very clearly. And because you see it, you're clearer about the world that you're in. You're able to respond appropriately on the physical plane. This is the end of a cycle for you where in the past I feel like you didn't respond in this way because you weren't, maybe it took some sort of a betrayal of this size to bring you into your knowing, bringing you through your knowing and into the end of a cycle. With the end of a cycle is the beginning of, where you couldn't see the whole reading here. The Ace of Cups. a new inpouring. You're under a new contract now with spirit. Whatever happened was a stripping away. Somebody tried to fuck you up, and I feel like for a time you sat in this, but you didn't strike back. You didn't once strike back. You didn't once retaliate. You kind of isolated yourself and you healed. I feel like this person lied about you, destroyed your reputation, fiercely attacked your reputation. And now it's very clear now that your life is reborn. You are not who you used to be. And whoever you're dealing with now, can see very much so that you are the high priestess. You've developed a self-trust, a self-knowledge. You developed a knowledge of the world. You are aware of the world. You're aware of the unity and the duality. You are aware of the necessity of what has happened here, even though it was fucking brutal. Okay? Even though it was fucking brutal. This not only let you see everyone else in the world, but this also brought up shit in you, stirred up things in you. Like, I'm feeling rage, anger, hurt, revenge, even a wanting of revenge. And I feel like you didn't act on them. I feel like you tried to fight to resolve it, and the other person was like clammed right up like a tight clam, like they weren't saying nothing. They were happy to see you sit in this. They were happy to see you sit in something that was very uncomfortable and very destructive to you. That's what they think. That's what they thought. But you are now, yes. So you were not only aware, yes, of the worst of the world, you were also aware of the worst of yourself. And now becoming aware of the worst of yourself. See, whoever this was employed the worst of themselves, but employed it unconsciously. Employed it like threw rocks and then hid their hands. Do you know what I mean? Like they threw rocks and then hid their hands. But when you throw a rock, you fucking well mean it. Okay? You don't need to hide your hands. And that's what I mean. You're aware of the worst of yourself. And when you need to employ your anger or any part of your shadow, you do it consciously. You do it with the awareness that this is what you're doing. And this is why, because you hold the tension of the two opposites because of what you've come through. This is definitely some sort of an initiation into shamanic understanding, because who you are now, having a relationship with the part of you that can go, "Her, don't fuck with me." Okay? And the part of you that can turn into your life. Have a very walking upon the path of your heart, because you know how to protect yourself now. I feel like in the past you were somebody that was hoping everybody else would manage your boundaries, and I feel like that's where you were vulnerable. This person was able to enter in because you were so gentle and expecting everybody else to manage your boundaries. Like, who would hurt me? That couldn't happen to me. I'm very gentle and nice. I'm the nice one. Nice means naive, baby. So maybe it was the naivety that was sort of like a vulnerability, and that was this this person's eventual way in, like they creeped in like a weed, like a root, like a what do you call that, a morning glory vine, that can find its way through brick, so that's it. But you're aware of this part of yourself. You're very balanced. And because you were clean, you kept your hands clean all the way through this. This is why you were now, and going into other, like, you are now coming out of this. You've ended the cycle. You have ended this cycle. Not only have you ended this cycle, and if you haven't experienced this yet, you will be experiencing this. Ending this cycle is also you coming into your Queen of Wands energy. Very adaptable, very steady force. Also very sympathetic and very understanding when you want to be, but also don't fuck with me. You're very conscious of the attention and generosity that you now extend to others. You're aware of when it's being taken for granted, and that's when it's time for you to leave. Okay, you don't let your energy be you're not bullshitting yourself anymore. And you're not depending on other people to tell the truth. Yes, okay, I totally lied. Yes, okay, I tried to take your man. Yes, okay, I tried to take your job. Yes, okay, I tried to fuck with your life and, take over you. No one's going to say that. You're no longer expecting anybody to show up for themselves because you know the truth. Very few can. Very few will rise. Like I said, rise up and take your place in the sacred realm. Very few will rise, I'm telling you. And whoever this is, I feel, is trapped in her obsession of you. And it's because of the investments into what she was looking to gain. And I feel like you have washed your hands of this. You are done with this, and this person's not going to change. I'm telling you that right now. And if they come back into your life, I would be very careful about bringing this person back into your life. I wouldn't. If that was me, I would say, fuck no. Oh God. I'm very flattered. I think it's, very great that you want to still be my friend, but absolutely not. Absolutely not. The bottom of the deck for the first row was the Queen of Wands in reverse. Like I said, there was some sort of black magic. The bottom of the deck for the gold cards is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Somebody trying to take from you, steal from you. You could feel the dissipation of their friendship. You could feel their disingenuous intentions towards you. Something was off. It was off. But you couldn't prove it yet. You didn't have the proof because this person masked competition with kindness. She masked covert competition with care and support. And it was all fucking bullshit. And the bottom of the deck for the final row, that's what I mean. This person is trapped. They're trapped. They overspent. They are obsessed. They are stuck in their obsession. It's magnetic too. And they're not going to, if they can't feed on you, they're going to go after somebody else. This person is like a parasite. They're like a locust. But whatever this is like God uses us for honor or for dishonor. And I feel like God used this person in dishonor because they let themselves be used and they let themselves be represented like that. So there you go. The truth is what is, baby. So God used this person in dishonor, because they stepped up to the plate wearing the clothes of dishonor, there you go, in order to initiate you through a portal of shamanism, to initiate you through a gateway, a portal, an initiation, a rite of passage into a shamanic plane. I feel like whatever happened here was, even, like I said, the wound of Chiron, something that was unhealable, but you healed it. You healed it through your acceptance of what you were dealing with, who you were dealing with, knowing the fact that you couldn't change it, knowing that you were in an environment that was supporting it, that was, that didn't even have your best interest. And if it was supporting it, that environment didn't have their best interest either. Okay? Some environments can be very toxic, very sick, that play one person against the other. And everybody, gets off on that. And that's what I mean about being addicted to stress hormones, being addicted to drama. But whatever this is, I'm telling you, you have made it through this. You are done with this. This is showing up because you're already aware of this. You already know who this is. You know what this is. You know what you've overcome. You know this story from front to back. You already know all of this. This is just showing up. It's almost like when you've come through a major challenge, and during the challenge you didn't know where the fuck you were going. It's like you're in a rowboat and you're rowing backwards, because that's how a rowboat is. You can't see where you're going. You got to always turn around and see where you're going. Bring that back, please, Creator. You're in a rowboat. You couldn't see where you were going. Yes, that's it. Because you were going through a passage you couldn't see. You couldn't see. You weren't aware. And this person kept the truth from you because of their sense of guilt, their sense of fear of being exposed, emotional exposure, vulnerable exposure. They don't want to be exposed. They don't want to tell the truth. They're happy to stay in their obsession. As toxic and as sick as it is, they are happy to stay in their obsession. Okay, so whatever this was designed as your initiation. Like I said, initiate is here 3 times. So whatever you have come through, job well done. Whatever you have come through with this dark moon Lilith and going through a situation where you were being devoured and there was nothing you could do about it, because whoever this is very cunning. They're very deceptive. They're very charming too. They've got charisma. I feel like they've got like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that just love me. They just love me. Like, great. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, hey? This is a big deck. Holy smoke. Okay, Creator, what is the demonic energy that is assigned to this dark moon Lilith dynamic, that is assigned to this energy? What is the demonic energy assigned to this dark moon Lilith contract? The Hermit. This is number 50. This is Saturn, Sagittarius, the Hermit. Very interesting. Look at that card. Look at the art, hey? Okay, and what is the angelic energy, creator? The angelic energy. Yes, I feel like this energy was meant, this demonic energy. We'll see when we open the book, but I feel like it was here to isolate you. There it is. It flipped right over. Leuia, the Two of Cups. Swiftly hearkening God, the number 19. Fruition provides expansive intelligence and gives the grace of God. Fruition provides expansive intelligence and gives the grace of God. Beautiful. And that's what I mean. You have victory over this now, but you don't have to go tell the other person off. There's no reason to. I feel like you have neutralized. I don't feel anger. I don't feel you have anger to this person at all anymore. I feel like you just don't give a shit anymore. Like you really genuinely don't. You were like, I wish you well. I really wish you well. It reminds me of read the book Sun at Midnight by Andrew Harvey. It's about what he went through with his guru, one of his gurus that betrayed him and almost killed him. And it goes to show how low a human being is willing to go in order to get away with their deception. It was like The Wound of Chiron. It's, oh my God, it's an incredible book. Okay, number 19. And by the way, I haven't read it. I've heard about it through Caroline Myss. 19. And he talked about it. He talks about it very briefly in the book, Soulmate Contracts. Okay, that he co-wrote with Caroline Myss. Okay, number 19, Leuia. This is page 50. Leuia, the swiftly hearkening God. Psalm 40, verse 2. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. Oh my God. So that's what I mean. You were covered in grace while you were waiting here in this demonic energy. Whoever is attached to this energy has some sort of demonic energy attached to them. There's some sort of an attachment. And so while you were waiting, this makes me want to cry. I waited patiently for the Lord, and he inclined unto me and heard my cry. So your cries were heard. Your cries were heard. And whatever's going on with this Black Moon Lilith, we won't see this transit again for another 80 years. So this won't happen again in your lifetime. So whatever you have come through here is once in a lifetime growth. And you made it through. And whoever you're leaving behind isn't. They're not meant to. They're not called to. Okay. Those born under Leuia's influence will be amiable, lively, and modest, and bear adversity with resignation. So you are, whoever you are born under this sign, if you are, or maybe this betrayal was born under on the date of the sign. Leuia can obtain the grace of God and governs memory and human intelligence. Soul guardian for those born from 6 a.m. to 6:20 a.m. Moral guardian for those born on the 7th of April, the 8th of June, August 29th, November 9th, or January 20th. Physical guardian for those born from the 18th to the 22nd of June. So very interesting. So like I said, you sat in this for a while. You sat in this for a while. Like a few years even. Even like a decade or even more. Okay, 50, number 50. This is over. This is over. This cycle is finished. And if this person comes back to try to fight with you, oh my God, help them. God help them. That's all I'm gonna say. Oh my gosh. Okay, the Hermit. Solitude. This was to keep you from receiving, from attaining solitude and enlightenment. A patient understatement. See, that's what I mean. That's exactly right. A patient understatement. 6 of Wands. This, yes, whoever this was went after your reputation, smeared your reputation, lied, exaggerated in order to bring harmful effects toward you over your life and alienate you from the people around you. But you know what? The people that bought into this too, that supported this, like, they're also victims of this person also too, but they're also victims of the cultural mindset that supported it, the social conditions that were supporting it. Okay. So whatever this was to keep you from your enlightenment. It was to keep you in solitude, to keep you from enlightenment. And patient understatement. It's like you were underestimated, hugely underestimated. And whoever sees what they did is they had no idea. They wish they didn't do. Okay, let me say it this way. This is what they're saying. They're saying this person wishes they didn't fuck with you, but not because of what it did to you. How did this come in? This person wishes they didn't fuck with you, not because they care about you. That's it. Not because they care about you, but because of what it did for you ultimately. Like they didn't really get what they wanted from you. I don't feel this person got what they wanted from you, except for obsession. They got a cycle and a nice, great big dose of stress hormones and obsession. Okay. But you are over this. You are done this. This is finished. This is over. This is over. It's like you've got through a major cycle, you're done, you're graduated, and then the Creator pulls back the curtain and shows you, okay, this is what you've just come through. And you're like, what the holy shit? Had you have known back then that it was going to take this long, would you have waited? If you would have known back then how much patience, endurance, perseverance. Holy shit, this person can see you can persevere. You are patient, like you are unfuckable with. I really don't think this person is going to come and talk to you. I highly doubt it. Because whatever's happened here, you have come out on top. You have reclaimed your sovereignty. You didn't take your power back. Let me make that clear. This person didn't take anything from you. They just diminished. They were trying to, but this person's kind of fucking stupid. Okay, they were trying to, but they didn't. What they did was diminished your power, diminished, attacked it, try to like stomp it out, exhaust it, throw it off in whatever way that they could. But now they see that you have recovered and then some. I feel like you are not the same person that you were when this person knew you. I feel like you guys have not spoken in a long time. And if you guys ever will again. But I think their karma is they get to watch you rise and take your place in the sacred realm. Alrighty, my loves, you guys take care. This was a powerful reading. I am so very proud of you guys. You guys made it through this portal, through this rite of passage, through this initiation. This is a very rare reading, and holy smoke, bless you and congratulations, you guys. All right, I will see you in the next reading. Alrighty.